street. Don't pepper all the black and white in with all the other stuff. Keep it grouped. That way, when he says, somebody says, black and white, good. This section is all black and white. I know what I'm getting. This section is all color. I know what I'm getting. This section is all color street. I know what I'm getting. Just because it's Facebook, don't act like you're a 16-year-old girl because that's not going to work. Especially if you're a shooter and you're using Instagram to put your work out there. You need to organize it and cull it. Don't just throw everything in there. I was telling you when I make that comment about sitting on a couch, stuffing your face, drinking a Monster. That's because that actually happened. There was a band in here who shall remain nameless because they're not, unless of course they want to come on. You're nameless. Yeah. The rule is you're nameless unless you've been offered unless you've been given an invitation to come on and talk. If you've been given an invitation and you turned it down, well then that's it. You get what you get. So the thing about the band. Hold
on.
Okay.
Let's put it. I do have an addendum to that. A lot of it's going to have to deal with the way you deal with us back. If you're given an invitation, and here's where it all comes apart. Josh was the center of a controversy. It was one we decided we were going to have a conversation about last week because we both decided, hey, this is a really good topic. We should talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, maybe you should reach out to him, see if he wants to join us for the conversation. I respect someone who chooses not to, especially when he's the victim in the situation. But when you're going to throw back that, I'm an artist, and okay, look, okay, you're an artist. I have very strict rules for the difference when it comes to photography. Those that are artists and those that are photographers. A photographer will take 1,000 pictures to get one good one. An artist will sit there for 1,000 hours waiting for one good picture.
Yeah.
Street photography, by its definition, is for photographers.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Street photographer. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people try to use this term snapshot or snap shooter as basically an insult. Okay, but by definition, street photography is snapshots. By definition, yeah. And they don't want to say that, but that's what it is. And so if you want to start, putting people down, well, you might want to look in the mirror because the people you're putting down are your peers. The people that are doing exactly what you do. But you think you're doing it. You think you're some kind of professional. You think you've honed it down to a fine edge. You think you're the shit. You know what? You're a photographer. You're not a visual storyteller. Don't even come here telling me that.
Oh my God! Please don't go there.
God, I asked. That's what I told him too. Josh goes, I don't shoot pictures. I make photographs. I go, okay. And as soon as I tell you this, I was thinking about that all day today, and I've got a rebuttal to that. He says, I don't shoot photographs shoot pictures. I don't shoot pictures. I make images. That's what he tells me.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've just scrolled through 400 of them. You should go back to shooting pictures.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's for me, there's so much of it that's very uninteresting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm again, maybe there's something in it I'm not seeing, but I'm like seeing red apparitions through the pictures, like the film was too old when he had it developed.
Oh, did he? I didn't notice. I see one right now. Also, I see some heavily blue casted stuff. Here's the thing. The thing about film is you have to take that into account because, but you have to be willing to go to Photoshop or GAMP or whatever you're using, and you have to fix it. All right, because otherwise your output is going to be freaking tiny. You can't be you cannot be too proud to go to Photoshop it. Well, Photoshop is a colloquial term, but you can't be too proud to Photoshop it just because you're shooting film. But that's what they're doing.
Right.
They'll go, well, I only use Lightroom to crop. I go, okay, well, yeah, but then your shit's all red, your shit's all blue. Now, if you're trying to do that, that's different. If you want that, if that was the idea, that's different. That was your intention, okay, fine. But if you shot it and you did not take into account the lighting, if you shot it and you were using expired film because you wanted high contrast, you wanted heavy grain, but you accidentally got that red cast, you need to go in and take that out. But they're not doing that. What they're going, well, I don't Photoshop. Well, okay, and then but what do you get? You get stuff that nobody wants to look at because it doesn't look very good. There's this guy I was talking to. He's out of Argentina. I think his name is Leonardo something or other. No, but anyway, he had this style that he'd been doing that a lot of people liked, and I really liked it too. Where what he was doing, he was shooting film, and he was doing a long exposure, but instead of the subject moving through the frame, he was moving. And so,
Okay.
yeah. And, let's see if I can find some of it. It was interesting. And I told him, I go, I really like your stuff, man. I go, it looks like you're going through hyperspace or coming out of hyperspace. And he laughed. He goes, oh, I'll have to check that out. I go, yeah. He goes, I'll have to try that. I go, yeah. I go, if you're good, you can get back before you started. But yeah, I don't think he got the joke. But anyway, oh, here it is. Yeah. Leonardo Gonzalez. I like his stuff. Yeah, he was doing some really interesting stuff, and he was using some black and white. It's super grainy. It's really ghostly. It's not everybody's taste. Here's a good one. I'll just send you this one. You can check it out. This will give you an idea of what he's doing.
All right.
Let's see. Here's one. And now here's one that I just saw. I hadn't seen this one before. It looks like he used some kind of a yellow filter or something on it, or he may have done that post process. But see, this is the thing. It's like really ghostly. And so, I mean, like I said, it's not you don't want to make your entire career out of it.
So he's making multiple exposure shots while
okay, yeah,
he's moving, not the subject.
right. Yeah, that's exactly what has happened. I wasn't sure what he was doing, but somebody asked him, and he said, see, I don't tell people what I'm doing. I don't tell people what gear I'm using. Film, I don't tell people that because it's pointless. It has nothing to do with the image. And he's the same way. But if you ask me, I'll totally tell you. If you specifically ask me, what are you doing? I'll absolutely tell you what I'm doing. He's the same way. So this guy asked him, what are you doing? Are you doing multiple exposures? He goes, no, I'm doing long exposure, but I'm moving. And the subject is also moving.
Okay.
See, that's the reason why, because if he was just there and he was doing a long exposure and he's doing this shot of a city scene, like the first one I sent you. See if I can find that one again. Or that man walking through with it looks like the Blair Witch Project in the back. See, if he was doing just a long exposure on a tripod, all that stuff would be
all the background
sharp.
stuff would continue to be sharp while the subject would be ghostly.
Right. But in order to get that, he's moving and the subject's moving. So I still don't know what his motive, what exactly he's doing, but that's kind of the thing that he's doing.
I'll be honest with you. Of stuff you pointed in my direction, that's the first time I could say I couldn't take my eyes off any of those pictures.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Because it was like there was something to see in every one of them. It's like, wow, that's a really cool effect you got right there.
Yeah, some of them you almost have to get into the picture and actually pick out what the subject is or find the subject. Like there's one where there's a bicyclist. Yeah, there it is. Let me send you this one. This one's kind of cool. He's really good. I like him. I like what he's doing.
It's something I haven't seen before, and
see, that's the thing. It's something I haven't seen before either. And you know what it's like in photography. Finding something new it's like pulling teeth, dude. I mean, photography's fairly young compared to like oil painting and all, but but really,
it's music. It's I've got 13 notes to come up with something new.
and yeah,
It's all been done.
And so a lot of it is you're trying to trick the audience into thinking they hadn't heard it before.
Right.
So like I'm saying, when you if you're doing something like that, something odd like that, and you're trying to get it, if that's your intention, that's fine. But if you're getting like that picture, that Josh's picture where it's got that magenta cast on it, that what that indicates is that the film was expired. Now that's fine if you're shooting a sunset or sunrise, that's fine, that's reasonable. But you're shooting what looks like very likely a shot at the beach. It looks like a pier scene because the one before it and the one after it are obviously on a pier somewhere. So I'm thinking that's what he was doing. But it's also a long exposure. Problem is it's magenta. So, which, like I said, if you intend to do that, that's fine. But but don't be too proud to Photoshop.
I was just looking at this one you just sent me of the bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
The background almost has this appearance like he crumbled the picture before he fucking scanned it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
It's really cool.
Yeah, the pattern came out really well, but you can still identify the bicyclist, which I like.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen I can't. I'm not sure where the one was because he's got a lot of them, but there was one where like I was saying, it kind of looked like he was coming like you're coming out of hyperspace. You know, that Star Wars where the stars are lines and then they pull down into points.
Right.
It's almost like that. And obviously it's black and white though, and not that defined, but that's kind of how it looked. And the lines kind of pointed towards the subject. So that was pretty cool.
No, I like his work. It's interesting. It captured my attention.
Yeah, I like his work too. I may have just found it. Let me send you this one. Now this may have had some kind of post-processing on it. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know his procedure. So, but check this one out. This is the one I think I told him. I said, "Hey man, I like your stuff. It looks like you're coming out of hyperspace." He laughed. I think it's basically light trails. I think it's like traffic. They might be traffic. It might be also like street lights and stuff like that. But you can see the subject right there, right in the middle, and then all the lines almost converge on him. It's just standard perspective. You know, it's converging lines. But because
that's great.
Yeah, I like it too.
He obviously was shaking the camera up and down as things moved.
Yeah, see, he was not making some hard effort to keep his camera flat. This was all handheld, so his up and down motion from his steps was translated onto the film. And we can tell this. I'm speaking to everybody. We can tell this because the light trails move up and down in a zigzag. So we know that his camera was moving up and down, but also forward. So that's what happened there. Yeah, I like that one. That's the one I kind of.
It didn't even occur to me that he was walking behind the guy, like matching his steps.
Yeah, see,
but you're right. That's exactly what was going on.
He's just following the subject with a long shutter speed, and obviously black and white film. So like I said, I haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, I don't have all that much experience, but like I said, I haven't seen anything like that before. So I like it.
Can I tell you what I see when I look at his work? Because here's kind of the way I judge what I like in photography is if there was a photo book, and let's be honest, most of the way a contemporary artist is going to make money these days is put together some kind of photo book.
Yeah, you have to. There's no other market.
If there was a dinner table in front of me and I saw a book with one of these pictures on the cover, would I open it up and would I keep thumbing through it by what I saw? This guy's work, I would.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at it going, there's a couple of these that would make great album covers.
Yeah, there are. there's a lot of stuff.